Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. As many of us know from the play Harry Potter and a Cursed Child, after long Voldemort's death, his daughter Delphini had become the main antagonist of the saga. Before this play was officially performed for the first time, we knew nothing about the existence of Delphi. Some even say that her appearance as an antagonist is in itself antagonistic to the storyline. Tom Riddle knew no true love, he never even desired it, and yet we can presume he most likely felt some attraction towards his loyal companion, Bellatrix Lestrange. Apparently he was attracted enough to contemplate the possibility of having a common child. But is this child similar to her parents? Let us see. The birth of Delphini was probably somewhat of a happy event in the grim existence of Bellatrix Lestrange. She loved her true and only lord, her leader and the master of her life and death, and yet she could not, or perhaps didn't really care, about the child she had with him. Of course, giving birth to the lord's heir was an honor, and yet her immediate service in combat was more important for the cause, and so she died, fighting for her dark ideology. Bearing the name of the main star from the Delphinus constellation, Delphini, and boasting great heritage of both the Black and the Gaunt families, she was most likely considered to be one of the most feared people after the Dark Lord himself. It is, although, important to note that only a close circle of Death Eaters knew of her birth. After the death of her parents, the girl was adopted by Euphemia Rowley, one of the most brutal and cruel Death Eaters. Even though theoretically such an adoption would be an honor, she was never kind to Delphini, agreeing to take care of the Dark Lord's heir only for a big reward. According to Delphini's own words, her childhood was not much better than the one of her father, Tom Riddle. He had to endure living in a Muggle orphanage, while she had to endure cruelty of her adopted family. She was not sent to Hogwarts at the age of 11. Nonetheless, there is a strong chance that she did receive a formal education in a Durmstrang Institute. Why not Hogwarts? Well, let's just say her adopted family didn't want Delphini to attract too much attention in an era when it seemed that everyone was spreading rumors about Voldemort's lost child. She had no friends, nobody to rely on. Just like Tom Riddle, she was a loner, and yet she wasn't devoid of feelings. She needed friends, she just couldn't find any real friends, only the imaginary ones she created herself. After Adolphus Lestrange left Azkaban, he told Delphini of a prophecy. When spares are spared, when time is turned, when unseen children murdered their fathers, will the Dark Lord return. Having a sharp mind, she managed to decipher it. The spare here is Cedric Diggory, the unseen child, Albus Potter, and the Dark Lord. Well, you know who he is. For the prophecy to be fulfilled, it was mandatory for Cedric to be spared, to not die. To do that, she needed a time turner, the one that was then contained in the cabinet of the Minister of Magic, Hermione Granger. And yet not the prophecy alone moves Delphini to the dark side. With the prophecy of her mind or not, it was impossible to ignore the past, the wars her father fought against his enemies. His ambition became hers. She felt ready to utilize any means necessary, any means possible for herself to become similar to the Dark Lord. She wants to rule the magical world, and the most brutal Slytherin traditions, it seems, became her ideology. There is yet another quality she got from her yet another famous ancestor, Salazar Slytherin: cunning. Not only her plans are strategic, she knows how to use deception and flattery to her advantage. It was flattery that allowed her to obtain the Time Turner. Just like Tom Riddle used his charisma to deceive Hepzibah Smith, his daughter used hers to deceive Albus Potter. Manipulations and impudence became her weapons. Her pride, on the other hand, was to become her ruin. Yet she didn't know it. The only thing she could imagine as a result of her actions was her reviving the Dark Lord, and maybe even becoming his equal. And in one of the realities, it had become so. The Time Turner allowed Delphini to change the destiny of her father, to make him the ruler of the world, and her the augury. Power corrupted her more than anything ever could. Cruelty, violence, and hate became her daily reality. She personally has become a symbol of the new regime, inspiring awe in some and hateful fear in others. She also started to call herself the past, the present, and the future, and therefore an ultimate judge, ready to kill her adversaries without hesitation. Another gift she received from her ancestors was her ability to comprehend and use the language of snakes, which she uses to create hiding places, the ones akin to the Chamber of Secrets in Hogwarts. And yet there was a weakness in her character more terrible than her pride, her utmost fanaticism towards Voldemort. Her mind could never seriously comprehend an idea if somebody could manipulate her using the image of her father as a mere tool. She wanted to rise to the level of the one her mother called the greatest wizard of all times, and yet she was so blind she couldn't see through the illusion created by Harry Potter, and that led to the demise of her glory. Ultimately, she was imprisoned in Azkaban, just like her mother years before. By the way, not only their love and devotion to the Dark Lord was a similarity between these two Dark Ladies, they both shared beauty as their quality, as well as their love for torturing the unfortunate victims with magic. So who is Delphini? A mere fanatic, a passionate pawn, or maybe a powerful witch worthy of the Slytherin heritage? She was not weak at all. She used deadly spells with ease. She needed no broom to fly. She had a powerful mind of her own. She had cunning. She was daring. She was ambitious, just like her father. And yet she lacks persistence. She lacks the willpower that allowed her predecessor to rise from oblivion time and time again. She is also different in something else. Unlike her father, she is not devoid of human emotions. She is not hateful of the concept of love. She even asked Harry Potter to show her Tom Riddle, or at least to wipe her memory, so that her suffering can be erased. For her to live knowing that now the love of anyone is impossible is a real torture. That makes her more human in our eyes, and yet this also makes her weak. Her father was defeated by both Potter and Dumbledore, but eventually had the will to rise again. She, on the other hand, lost once, and surrendered once and for all. And what do you think, fellow wizards and witches? What would have become of her destiny had Bellatrix Lestrange not died? Would Delphini want to have revenge against Harry Potter for the death of her father? Write your opinion in the comment section. And of course, thank you for watching this video until the end. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more interesting videos about the fascinating universe of Harry Potter. See you in our next videos. And while we were discussing all the things about Delphini, a question inevitably arises. Can the cursed child be considered canon? On the one hand, many of the fans don't particularly like the text variant. On the other hand, Joanne Rowling mentioned in her Twitter that the cursed child is as canonical as any other Harry Potter books. And what do you think about it? Write your opinion in the comment section, and we will take great pleasure in reading them and taking part in the discussion.